Book summary, my friends. Novel by Fredrik Backman. Introduction. Fredrik Backman's My Friends is a powerful, emotionally resonant novel about the enduring power of teenage friendship, the transformative nature of art, and how memory lives on through connection, alternating between two timelines, one set in the present and one 25 years in the past. It tells the intertwined stories of a young woman named Louisa and a group of 4 teenagers whose summer of companionship results in a quiet masterpiece that will change her life. Backman's signature blend of wit, emotional insight, and empathy brings this story to life, exploring grief, belonging, art, and how friendship can be both fragile and immortal. Part 1. The Painting and the Mystery. In the present day, Louisa, an aspiring 18-year-old artist, is working in a small community gallery and still grieving the recent death of her beloved mentor, Agnes, retired art dealer. Agnes leaves Louisa an unexpected bequest, painting known in art circles as The Stillness Beyond the Sea, a hauntingly beautiful seascape featuring 3 small, nearly invisible figures at the far end of dilapidated pier. To the art world, the painting is a mysterious masterwork of anonymity. Its artist, simply known as Hair Glands, left no legacy beyond this single canvas. But Louisa feels there's something alive in the 3 figures, something unfinished. Personal, driven by a mix of artistic curiosity and emotional pull, she decides to track down the origins of the painting and the people depicted within it. What begins as an investigation into painting soon becomes a journey through decades of friendship, loss, and rediscovery. Part 2. The Summer of Friendship, 25 years earlier. Back in the mid-1990s in sleepy coastal Scandinavian town past its prime 4 teenagers, Sebastian, Maya, Layla, and Jonas, find refuge from their turbulent home lives by claiming forgotten pier as their sanctuary. Sebastian, smart and brooding with love for poetry and philosophy. Sebastian is a scholarship kid whose wit often hides deep pain. His father is abusive, and Sebastian channels his restlessness into sketching and writing. Maya, quite bookish and deeply empathetic. Maya is dealing with the slow decline of her grandmother, who is slipping into dementia. Maya dreams of bigger life, but is tied down by responsibility. Jonas, gentle and large-hearted. Jonas is a gifted musician. His father is dying from degenerative disease, and Jonas spends his days pretending to be fine. He brings warmth, group with his guitar and optimism. Layla, sharp-tongued and fearless. Layla's bravado masks her inner vulnerability. She comes from a fractured home where she's often left to fend for herself. Her loyalty to her friends is fierce. These 4 become inseparable. The pier, once used by fishermen, now battered by salt and wind, comes their shared world. They spend the summer telling jokes, painting murals, singing songs, recording tapes, and vowing that their friendship outlasts everything. They even begin to leave parts of themselves behind. Jonas's guitar pick wedged in plank, Maya's journal pages sealed under loose board, Layla's old earrings nailed to piling, and Sebastian's sketches, one of which becomes the seed of the future painting. But time is not static. That golden summer is beautiful, but fleeting. Part 3. The Breaking Point. As the summer fades, the real world creeps in. Sebastian receives an offer to study abroad but hides it from the others, afraid it will break their spell. Maya's grandmother dies, forcing Maya to move away to live with distant aunt. Jonas comes overwhelmed with grief as his father's condition worsens. Layla, caught shoplifting, is sent to a reform program hours away. Their final night together is marked by falling out when Sebastian's secret is revealed. Words are said in pain. Promises to keep in touch are made, but they already sense they won't be kept. They each walk away from the pier differently than how they arrived. Unknown to them, an older, reclusive artist named Hair Glands, who had occasionally seen the kids on the pier from afar, had sketched them that summer. Deeply moved by the rawness of their bond, he transformed his sketch into haunting canvas. The Stillness Beyond the Sea, your defining features, letting their anonymity preserve the universality of their connection. This painting, over time, became an icon in certain art circles. Its figures rarely noticed, its beauty largely attributed to the sea and stillness it portrayed. But the heart of the piece lay in what most missed. Part 4. Louisa's Journey. Back in the present, Louisa begins retracing the origin of the painting using letters and notes left by Agnes. She identifies the town where the painting was created and begins tracking down the original teenagers, now in their early 40s. Each person Louisa visits adds new layer to the painting story and to her understanding of what friendship really means. Jonas, now high school music teacher, is still writing songs but has never shared them. He lives quietly with his dog, mourning his father and his past self. He is the first to agree to help Louisa. My now child advocacy lawyer is guarded and bitter. She refuses to speak to Louisa at first, angry at what the past took from her. But Louisa shows her photo of the painting. Something in her softens. Layla, who runs art programs for underprivileged youth, is surprisingly open and joyful. She remembers the pier with clarity and agrees to help bring the group back together. Sebastian is the most difficult, now renowned writer who lives in Berlin. He wants nothing to do with the past. He carries guilt for the group's breakup and believes the painting was stolen from him, even metaphorically. It takes Jonas and Maya reaching out for him to agree to come back. Part 5. The Reunion. Louisa invites them all back to the town for a small private gathering at the pier. The structure is nearly gone, weathered by time and tide. But the moment is profound. They sit at the edge again, older and marked by life. But together they talk, they cry, they laugh. The pier, once their sanctuary, becomes place of reckoning and release. They realize that their friendship wasn't failure. Even if it didn't last, it mattered. It saved them, gave them the tools to survive the worlds they came from. And now through Lewis's journey, it might help someone else too. Part 6. The exhibition. With the group's permission, Louisa organized a special exhibition called The End of the Pier at Major Gallery in Stockholm. It features the painting, but also installations dedicated to each friend's story, Sebastian's published essays on memory and identity, Jonas's original compositions, including song title, Stillness, Maya's childhood photographs and excerpts from her journals, Layla's youth artwork program portfolios. The exhibition's final room features live feed of the pier itself, now declared historical site, and an open invitation for others to sit at its edge, as the original 4 once did. Part 7. Reflection and Resolution. Louisa, now on the cusp of adulthood, feels change. The painting wasn't just mystery to solve. It was gift that connected her to something timeless. Through this journey, she learns friendship doesn't have to last forever to be eternal. Art can capture what words often fail to express. Some endings are just beginnings in disguise. The novel ends with the 4 friends returning to the pier on quiet morning. They don't say much. They don't need to. They sit, 4 figures in the corner of vast canvas, and watch the sea. And Louisa, sketchbook in hand, begins to draw themes and symbols. The pier, symbol of transition, liminality, and safe place where one can face the vast unknown of the future. Painting represents how memory is preserved and distorted through art. Silence and stillness, the moments when nothing is said, often speak the loudest. Teenage friendship, raw, intense, fleeting, but formative. Silent tone. Backman's narrative voice is both intimate and philosophical. He uses humor to lighten the emotional weight and leans into bittersweet nostalgia without sentimentality. His omniscient narration occasionally slips into direct address, inviting the reader to reflect on their own friendships in moments of stillness. Final thoughts. My Friends is not a grand story about world-changing events. It is about the quiet revolutions that happen when human truly sees another. It's about how summer can shape lifetime, how teenagers dismissed by the world can carry immense beauty within them, and how even decades later their laughter and pain still echo across time. This is a novel about art, but more importantly, it's about the art of being friends.